First up, you might remember on yesterday's movie news feed that Ready Player One's original author, Ernest Cline, has another one of his novels being developed into a feature film called Armada, and I mentioned that the story sounds way too similar to The Last Starfighter. Well, today comes word that Star Wars Rogue One screenwriter Gary Whitta is actually developing a new The Last Starfighter project with the original's writer Jonathan Betuel. Whitta said the following: "I happened to track John down, and after I was done pestering him with all my fanboy questions about the original film, we started to talk about what a new version might look like. Since then, we spent so many hours working on it, I've long since lost count, but right now we have a fully developed story that is a combination of a reboot and a sequel that we both think honors the legacy of the original film while passing the torch to a new generation. We're both very excited about it creatively." Now, this is still pretty early in its development, and granted, it may never actually come to fruition, but if it does and we get another Last Starfighter film, I am going to be one happy camper. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Next, remember a few years ago when Robert Rodriguez said he was making a Red Sonja movie with his then girlfriend Rose McGowan in the title role? Well, it looks like another Red Sonja movie is coming anyway. According to Coming Soon, Millennium Films has hired Ashley Edward Miller, who has screenwriting credits on X-Men First Class and the original Thor film, to write the screenplay for Red Sonja. Miller said the following: "It's an exciting opportunity to faithfully adapt the amazing Hyborian world Robert E. Howard created and inject it with Sonja's intelligence, ferocity, and fearless humanity. I want people to love Sonja the way I love her, and walk out of the theater understanding why she's so popular and enduring. Sonja is an icon." You know, it's actually being said that the success of Wonder Woman is what got this project back on track. Let's see if it actually turns into a movie, or if it Rodriguez and McGowan's out again. Next, this one's really interesting. The final reports for the #1 sold and rented movies of 2017 on digital and Blu-ray have been released, and the results will probably surprise you. You'd be forgiven if you just assumed that either Star Wars Rogue One or Wonder Woman top these charts, but they actually don't. According to Variety, the #1 purchased movie on both Blu-ray and digital in 2017 was the Disney film Moana. In the category of rented movies, Ben Affleck's film The Accountant actually took the #1 spot both on Blu-ray and digital rentals. Star Wars Rogue One took the #2 spot on Blu-ray sales and the #3 spot on digital sales, while Wonder Woman also did quite well, placing 3rd on Blu-ray sales, 2nd in digital sales, 4th in Blu-ray rentals, and 3rd in digital rentals. Moana's a surprise, but not a massive surprise. But when I read The Accountant, I was like, really? The Accountant? I mean, I'm super happy. I love that film, but I never realized it was rented that many times. Next, with Ready Player One now in theaters, director Steven Spielberg can now start turning his attention to his next film, Indiana Jones 5. In a recent interview, Spielberg was asked about the new film, in which he said the following: "This will be Harrison Ford's last Indiana Jones movie. I am pretty sure, but it will certainly continue after that." Indiana Jones 5 is currently slated to hit theaters in 2020 when Ford will be 77 years old, so the fact that he's even doing Indy 5 is a bit surprising, especially when you consider that Sean Connery was 58 years old when Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade came out. The big question will be, how does Indiana Jones continue without Harrison Ford? I'm sure Spielberg has some ideas that he simply won't share with us for at least a couple of years. Next, it may look like 3D, the completely useless movie theater gimmick that just gives theaters an excuse to charge you extra for a ticket, may actually finally be going away. Fewer and fewer people are choosing to wear the dark tinted glasses in movie theaters than ever before. According to Variety, box office revenues for 3D films in the US and Canada fell 18% in 2017 to $1.3 billion, according to a new report by the Motion Picture Association of America. That is the worst showing in 8 years, and a steep drop-off from the $2.2 billion in revenues generated by 3D films in 2010, the year when Avatar generated a substantial amount of its box office grosses and helped kick off the revival of the format. If you've watched me for any period of time, you know I hate 3D. The death of 3D cannot come soon enough for me. And finally, Remember a little while ago when the movie subscription service Moviepass quietly and suddenly removed several high-profile AMC theaters from their services in cities like New York, Boston, San Diego, Washington, D.C., and Los Angeles due to the fact that AMC would not give Moviepass a cut of their ticket sale or concession stand sales? Well, it looks like that strategy never had its desired effect. Reports have come out that Moviepass has now lifted the restrictions on those theaters, but that no new talks or discussions with AMC are scheduled. AMC still maintains that they will never split ticket sales or concession revenues with the Moviepass company. But at least for now, Moviepass members who subscribe to the service and live in those cities can use their cards again. And that'll do it for today's installment of the Movie News Feed.